Hey there, it's Brittany from By Brittany Goldwyn. I post videos about plants and projects, and today we are talking about marigold seed saving. Marigolds are just one of those flowers that make me think of being a kid again. I remember my parents planting them all the time in the garden, and they have such a distinct smell that smelling it just immediately takes me back. And they are also awesome to have in the garden because of their pest deterrent capabilities. And they just look great. But I plant them all around my garden in all my raised beds that I'm growing food in to help naturally deter pests and to help contribute to a thriving ecosystem in my garden. And you can easily save the seeds from the marigold seed heads to plant for next year. Now, some people will just like crumple the marigold seeds all over the ground and just hope they take for next year. And a lot of times they will. They will self-seed themselves and sprout, depending on where you are. However, where I am at in Maryland Zone 7A, they are treated as much more of an annual, and the seeds will not necessarily winter over in the ground and sprout if they sow themselves in the fall as the plant dies off. So I will show you how to pick the seed heads and how to pull the seeds out so that you can save them and start them for next year and save a few bucks. So first, let's talk about the type of seed head you should be looking for. So this right here is an example of a seed head that you probably do not want to pick. This still has too much color in it. It hasn't died off and dried off completely. There is a chance that the seeds could definitely be viable in this, but to increase your chances, you definitely want to look for something that is a lot drier. And here is an example of a seed head that will be better to pick. Now you can see this seed head is much more brown, it's crispier, it's definitely seen better days. There's no real color left in it from the marigolds. So go with something like this to pull your seeds out. So once you have your dried seed head, just hold it at both ends and then pull off this husk part and you will be left with seeds. Now the black part at the top of these are what the seeds are. So I would recommend holding this bundle and pulling off this part. And then you can go in and separate the seed from the chaff part. I think that's what it would be called. But honestly, I just let them dry and store them together. So we'll do another one here. Those seeds honestly didn't look super great, so I'm gonna try this one. This is a very beefy one. Let's pull this one out. Oh yeah, these seeds look awesome. So these seeds are longer, they are a little bit darker, and there is a ton of them. So now I'm going to hold the seeds, pull off this part. This is the part that attached it to the stem. And then you are left with all of these. Check that out. I'll set those down. And then these too, I pulled this seed head off the plant for this video, and actually it pulled right out, and these have some awesome seeds too. These are a really good example of a healthy marigold seed. So I'll pull these out. And then once I have all of the pieces separated and I have the seeds out, I'm just going to kind of spread them out in a single layer here. Oh, forgot this one. Spread them out in as close to a single layer as you can get, and then let them dry. So I like to let seeds dry on a paper towel just for a couple days. Even though they're probably pretty dry, this seed head was very dry. I like to let them dry out for a couple more days on a paper towel before I store them. And here's a close-up of one of the seeds. So these may be longer and skinnier than the seeds you may be used to growing with flowers, but you know, seeds can look all sorts of different ways. So that is how you save marigold seeds. Pretty easy. It's a great plant to grow anywhere in your garden to help with natural pest deterrents, and just because they add a really nice splash of color. I like mixing the orange and the yellow all around my garden. So yeah, make sure you store your seeds once they're completely dry in either a breathable paper bag, or if you're sure that they're super dry, you can put them in an airtight container in a seed saver. That's what I do, so I have to make sure they're extra dry before I store them so I don't have any moisture issues. So I will do a video probably in the spring when I'm starting all my seeds to show how to start these seeds. And then follow the whole process, the life cycle of saving the seeds and starting them and planting them and then doing it all over again. Until then, happy planting.